The middle class holds all the
Oh
answers.
my God, thank you.
To Nigeria's
and
problems.
I said the key now to us reclaiming, to us being
Expand
the
that middle
expansion of the
class.
middle class.
Yes.
And that is what Nigerian system has been against.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
if you expand
Because the
the
more
middle class,
people
have
live
more
poverty.
power.
The more people are financially free.
Sup, people.
Hi, everyone.
What's happening? Kilo Shele. How y'all doing? Welcome to the Shrine Podcast, another episode of the Shrine Podcast. The show where we talk about music, pop culture, lifestyle, and technology from our lens as young. How is he doing? As young Nigerians.
You people do this in every introduction. Every introduction, you people just look for something to laugh about in the introduction.
I don't know what is wrong with this
Okay,
man.
sorry.
Relax, let me get through the intro, okay?
Alright,
Thank you for joining us. My name is Akindare, and with me on the show today is...
It's Jemima.
And today is also a very special episode because we have a special,
You have to put
guest.
Oh,
We have to put
Adele,
on
I mean, don't put anything. If you put anything, I'm going to look for you and arrest you.
Jingle.
I'm going to use DSS. DSS.
Don't call DSS.
See, Ayomide is a policeman, low-key.
Sorry.
He's a
yeah,
secret
he's
policeman.
actually a policeman.
That's why we don't put his face so that nobody will know who he is.
So they will not know this is the
Because if they know it's DP of the station will tell him to bring his coat. It's how fun. How many podcasts you produce this week? I bet drop something now. Drop something.
All right.
But yeah,
so,
we have a special guest.
Yes.
And Jemima is going to tell us who our special guest is for the people.
Right.
Are you-
Okay. So on this
I thought you were looking at your
episode,
notes.
right?
She did not write it throughout.
I
don't
know,
worry.
write it, I swear. But yeah, so we have Steve with us. Steve is an entrepreneur. Steve.
Guys.
Steve,
I'm not, no,
let me
no.
tell you
I'll say it
something.
in full. We have Steve Dede
Should
with
I do my
us.
introduction?
Wait,
Let me do it. Should I do
no,
it?
Incredible Steve Dede.
No,
Let me do the
wait.
introduction.
No, chill, Steve. Wait. You will do. But let me do that. So here on this episode, we have the incredible, delectable Steve Dede. Now, Steve Dede, you know what? Let me not say too much. Just go on Google and type Steve Dede.
Wow.
Just go on Google and type
I
Steve
like
Dede.
that.
You
God
would
damn.
know
I like
who
that one.
Steve Dede is. So yeah, Steve,
You know what?
introduce
That's
yourself.
quite the flex.
That's quite the flex.
Like-
Me, they can't check.
I don't
they go
tell
on
police.
Google and
I
find me. They can't find
I don't
anything.
tell police. Like not police, na sacks near Abbey House. You know Abbey now.
Yeah.
Near Abbey House. It just came. I just came down. Just say, hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? You good? Is everybody good? Say, who you be? Say, gentleman, come here. Say, my name is Steve. I'm a journalist. You can just go on Google and check me out.
Check me out.
So as they talk and play someone, just bring out their phone. Some journalists, give us something. I look the guy, I don't do that.
I love it.
I don't do that. I just don't say, man, leave this idiot. But
Make it not put us for newspaper.
This one don't go give us anything. We'll move on.
I swear.
Love it.
No, but
Thank you
Steve,
so much for
tell the
joining
people
us.
about you. Who are you?
my name is Steve. I'm a media guy. I was a journalist. Now I work in a tech company.
The tech
I'm
bro.
married. I'm a family man.
A family man.
What
There you
else
go.
again? I love football. I love music.
There you go.
I love pop culture.
There
Well,
you go.
And I love life.
He's
I
also
love
the
being
co-host.
fair. I love being fair in life. Being fair. That's
Very
my,
important.
Yeah,
Very
being fair,
important.
yeah.
And I
And the
feel like you
co-host
can
of
also...
a co-host of a podcast, the Loose Talk podcast. Yeah.
There you go.
There you
you go. He's a loose talk giant. We have a loose talk giant on
A
the
loose talk
podcast.
giant.
people.
They-
Don't play.
The
Okay?
founder,
Don't
the foundation.
fucking
I've been
play.
wanting to ask you guys how the name the Shrine podcast came about. Like,
Wonderful. Like, thank you.
Take
for
this
seeing.
one.
Thank you so much. Like
You
this
know,
question means so much to me.
He has been waiting like, why would somebody ask?
Somebody say why
What
the
is the
shrine? What was you
inspiration?
thinking? You know.
Yeah.
So basically, it was heavily inspired by Fela's Kalakuta.
Okay,
Republic, right?
okay.
And his idea behind that was everybody's welcome.
Everybody's
right?
welcome,
We don't
yeah.
discriminate, you know, as long as we are all keeping it real.
we don't.
You get everybody's welcome is an open space for community, etc.
You know, I've never been in a setting and set up. Even churches are not like that. Like where everybody comes in and everybody's just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the
That's
shrine, you
just
see
who
a
you are.
banker on a suit in
Thank
the
you
middle
very
of
much.
Igbo Agberos.
Yep.
They're having a deep conversation.
Yep.
I want to give you a gist, right?
Talking about life.
I want to give you a gist. So there was one time we went to shrine early in the morning. We just got there, and one guy came. He said like in 2 hours time, say he won't go enter bus, saying they go in the travel go east. You know, so okay. So everybody was smoking, some were drinking, we were gisting. 2 hours time, the guy comes and says, how far? He said, Mom, okay, 2 hours time I'll come go. Bro, that was how you did 2 hours time till 7 p.m. The guy didn't travel. The guy said, oh, Mama, I'll go sleep. That was it.
2 hours, 2 hours,
and I've had conversations with guys who said like some of the darkest times of their lives, they used to go to the shrine and the hours they were there, they forget everything that was happening in their life.
Yeah, Dre will tell you.
They were just gisting with people. Oh, shoot!
Yeah. Yes, no, like that's again, like, that was, like the other part of that story was that like based on the idea of that Kalakota Republic is also basically what the New Africa Shrine is built on.
Yeah.
Sure, you get so, like just everybody's welcome. The same
Everybody.
The Agbero that outside bankers, everybody like. And everybody has to behave themselves. Like nobody can be unruly, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that was the idea.
Yeah,
right? And then also I just thought it was super provocative.
It was okay,
like, because when you hear the shrine, it's either you feel for have to go and look for what the shrine means or what it is, or you're like, shrine, internet. What's going on here, right?
And the word shrine has a stereotype because of Nollywood, old Nollywood.
Exactly.
Old Nollywood used to go to
I
shrine.
remember my mom seeing this logo and she's like, actually she saw it on my brother's story.
Yeah.
So she was charging him that like, what kind of logo? So she said it in logo like, what kind of logo is this? Devilish. So he took the screenshot and sent to me that they don't know that.
Your mama said that devil they worship. Devil worship.
The shrine. Olosi shrine. You're going to the shrine. Like, so there's the stereotypical thing, but it's also
So that was the idea behind
it makes sense.
Shrine.
It makes sense.
Because we are very liberal and we always like to say that this show is basically a lot of bands with a hint, a smidgen of seriousness.
Yeah,
because
so
if you like be serious, there's no serious.
So
if you're looking for seriousness, sorry for you.
Seriousness and ratchetness, everything.
Yeah, you get everything is so welcome. It's so welcome.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Right.
Dope.
So, how was your week, Jemima?
Well, you know what I said the last time we discussed in this episode about all the hands were on deck and like it was just an intense week. There's just,
you get no laptop. Or maybe you get 2 laptops.
Let me tell you something.
When someone asked me this morning, when he said, how was the week? I say, work won't kill me. That's the only thing I could say.
That's the only thing to describe it.
That's the only thing I could say.
You know,
I'm
very rebellious with my eyes. You know, my eyes are not good. I just like try to. But this week I found my glasses. As in, I looked for it. I found it because I was staring at the screen so much.
Yeah, talking about this glass and eye thing. Asagi was recommending something to us. I was really buying into the idea because he has this glass that he uses. I was like, is he medicated? He said, no, because you work on the screen, you should have this glass. Let me send, did you mind? Blah, blah. So he sent it. I saw the price. I was like, this eye safe. What's he? Anything will happen, make it happen.
It's not just to see. We'll see.
So I'm saving up. I'll buy the glass because it's very important. Because these things we do, like the lifestyle we live, is not going to affect us now. It's like in
I don't know
30, 40,
I'm still young. Which lifestyle do you live?
Looking at the screen.
Okay.
This woman says she's young.
I don't understand what he's saying. I don't know what he's talking about.
Old woman.
No. It's from your phone to your computers. You just have to protect it. Yeah.
You will even like press your phone.
Exactly. Yeah, so we need some sort of
your
protection.
eyes was like bitch.
Yeah.
So I was staring like it was.
Yeah, but I think this new week, I'll try and make that order and just get it. Yeah. I also don't like wearing my glasses, but I've just accepted. Bro, please.
I just always wear it.
Please wear it.
I'm very consistent.
I have one in the car. I have one in my bag that I take to the office.
Yeah,
I have many glasses
all over. So he's always gonna be staring at you.
Yeah, it's funny because my wife wears glass a lot too, and because Denzel, so she changes the frame every week.
Wait, who's Denzel?
Denzel is my son.
Okay.
Yeah, so he changes the.
See, Denzel. Kind of people that we have people that name their children Denzel. Kind of people we have on the show.
It's because of Denzel Washington. I'm a huge fan now. So
yeah.
So you named your kid after the goat.
That's how. After the goat.
Listen.
That's the best.
That's it. If I have a kid, I'm probably going to name them after someone.
One of the greats.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton.
You know, there's a story. I'll tell you off the podcast. There's a story behind that Lewis Hamilton. I'll tell you.
Okay. Anyways, how was your week?
My own was.
You got promoted.
No, I did not get promoted.
We-
Do you know what?
That
That thing has happened since January.
I saw it on LinkedIn.
I was
I'm
just-
like, when I come here, I'm going to
It was just a
tell you to give me a drink for your.
it was just a role modification. So I was just
Yeah.
basically taking out the communications bit of my job
and just making
and
it
the
something.
Niger and West Africa focus.
Yeah. Just,
That's
So
all.
we global.
yeah, we
Oh, we
global.
now.
My price
We
don't went up.
Yeah.
You get me? My salary did not go up, but my personal price,
God
don't
did.
went up. Okay,
Okay.
God did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was,
Awesome.
it was a
Awesome.
good week. It was pretty
Awesome.
okay. And then obviously, we have a holiday on the horizon.
Yeah, this week.
So I am looking forward to that.
Friday.
My
Yeah, even
body
me.
is-
Even me.
I don't need to
Even
tell
me. Because
everybody
you know
for
me,
office.
sometimes I have the habit of because weekends I don't go out. Like I'm a home guy, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I just leave. I know that I will do the work. I
Yeah.
know that. So
Yeah.
sometimes I even leave the work till weekend. So the thing is I don't sleep on I really don't sleep. So that's that night, those Saturday, when I come back from playing football, as I'm watching football, I'm on my
Yeah,
computer.
yeah.
So I know that I'll do the work.
Yeah.
But you see this week that I'm entering, Monday to Thursday,
must finish the work.
I must
you
finish the work.
everything because that
Because
weekend.
it's that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Just
It
want
has to be chill.
Yeah,
Just chill.
just want to
That's
chill,
what's
yeah.
up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Listen, that's good
Actually,
advice.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do.
That's good advice. Make sure you do that. Clear out all your work, clear
Clear
out your
the
things.
days.
Yeah, just
So
do it,
your
just
long
do it,
holiday,
just do it,
you
just
can
do it.
just chill.
Just doing.
Fab. All right. What do we have on the menu today? What are we talking about?
So the last time on the podcast we were talking about like what did we both feel about the aftermath of the election
Yeah.
and like just the pulse of the nation, and we
Yeah.
both shared our views. So if you have not
Yeah.
listened to that, go and listen so that you can hear what we share.
Do the right thing,
Do
people.
the right thing, okay?
Come on.
I'm
Even
like
though we're
two
talking
epi-
about
I'm
body
like
structuring.
3 episodes behind. 2-3 episodes behind. But I'll still
Steve, you
listen
need
to
to
it.
fix up.
No, I'll listen to it. So the thing is
that
about me. I binge listen podcast, right?
Okay, so you listen to it.
So
pause
I
at
listen
the
to
same
it.
time.
So the day I'm
Yeah.
going to listen to it, I'm going to finish the
Yeah.
episode.
Many ones.
I have so many, but
Yeah.
I listen to everything.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
do,
That's
yeah.
what's
Thank,
up.
thank
I
you.
listen to everything.
That's
We
what's
appreciate
up.
the real
That's
ones. We
what's
appreciate
up.
Do you have a drink?
I listen-
Do you have a drink? Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay,
Good.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Stay- Yes.
Anyway, so we want to just talk about like the aftermath of the election, things we learned, the in between ethnicity, tribalism, all those things. Really,
Yeah.
just
Yep.
chat about it.
So we on the last episode, Steve, for your benefit, we were talking about our basic consensus. The two of
Yeah.
us was that our feeling
Yeah.
of what the country is like and like what everything is like after the elections is that like for the most part people have just like kind of moved on and just gone back to their lives, but also there's still a like group of people that are still like, oh no, we'll stay on our mandate to keep our eyes on the ball.
Yeah.
prize.
We're in
Yeah.
court.
We'll try to make sure that we can salvage whatever good thing or whatever thing that will help the country from this experience. But what
Yeah.
has been your own, like, how
So
do you
I think
feel?
I have I'm a very pessimistic person, by the way. Like, I have a very pessimistic view about life. I always think about the worst. And it's even ironic that on this issue, I'm very pessimistic on this election issue, because for the first time in a long time, so election, there's nothing makes you understand a country better than an election. Election gives you the view, like how a country is.
Yeah.
And Nigeria there's something happening. There's a change happening, right? We saw it in NSAS where young people were really angry. And we saw it now with the obedience movement, right? So even me, what made me even pay more attention was what happened during the Lagos gubernatorial election. So what happened in that election was everything that happened off Lagos, the intimidation, the bullying, the violence was just people, a party who just became very desperate because of what happened during the presidential election. What happened during the presidential election? A bunch of young people said, this is our candidate.
This is who we want.
This is who we want, because he's not the typical Nigerian politician. He's different. He appeals to us, and even despite what APC will try to paint him as a regional party, it's a lie. As a regional candidate, it's a lie. This man, a lot of people fucked with him.
It's nothing about
It's nothing about
one tribe.
There's nothing
or
about
whatever.
one tribe. Like all my friends, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't have an Igbo friend. I'm not sure I have an Igbo friend.
Wait, are you Igbo?
I'm Delta Igbo.
Okay.
So I'm Igbo. Let me put it, I'm Igbo. But there's still that little distinction. I'm from Delta
Yeah,
State.
because they are still
They're still
within
that,
Igbo land. They are still
Exactly. But I
Yeah,
understand
Igbo,
Igbo. There's apart from the
Different
Abiriba, that's the fast one. I understand Anambra Igbo, Imo State Igbo. I understand Igbo. I'm an Igbo guy. I don't have an Igbo friend. Since I came to Lagos in 2010, right? Like I didn't know anybody when I came to the city. over time, I've had a lot of friends. Yorubas have really been my biggest support system. Even right now, if something happens to me, if you are calling 5 people, four of them are Yorubas, right? All of us voted for Peter Obi because you know why? I'll go back to the tribe thing. The thing that happened is not a tribe war; it was just a class war. So we are on one class, like we have the same types of education, we're in the same tax brackets. And that, if you look at us, Jemima, we supported Peter Obi. Our kind of people supported Peter Obi, irrespective of tribe and personal, except for the people who have like personal interest in other parties. And what has happened a lot in Nigeria in democratic Nigeria 1999 has been that our set of people, right, were not that much. 1, 2, because Nigeria is a poor country. Nigeria is an uneducated country. A lot of people don't go to school in Nigeria. A lot of people are not literate in Nigeria. The
educated
education.
The lapse is very high, right? So we hopefully going to increase, and there are a lot of young people also coming up who don't like those political class. So I feel the reason I'm optimistic that this is just the beginning of a movement where a third force for the first time will accumulate 6 million votes, right? 6 million votes.
What they
according to Yakubu and INEC, right? I feel this is just the beginning. Because there's a renaissance, like there's people are really
something has changed.
Something has changed. Young people are bro. I was so much impressed with TikTok during the political season. You saw people talking about politics on big TikTok.
People now care.
People now care. And you know why? Social media is also like something that is. So before in 1999, you could be someone in Lagos. You didn't know what I was thinking in Delta State.
That thing you were saying about the internet. Exactly. Now you just open.
So now we are all coming together and saying we have one idea. Let's start pushing it. Let's start doing this. And it's going to continue. That's why these guys. That's why during the Lagos election they went all out. But they're fighting a dying battle. They're going to lose eventually. They're going to lose. They will fight. And
I feel like they know they're going to lose, but at the end of the day, they just want to put up that fighting spirit.
Exactly.
So like, everybody knows that like you can't fight.
You can fight.
Try to fight.
There is a losing battle.
But the thing is that like at the end of the day, right? Like it is in their interest to fight. At the end of the day, like they are going to protect their interests. No matter what.
Politicians don't care.
As they can.
They don't care.
It's like what we always say about like people that are abusive or manipulative, and we always say that like they will keep doing it as long as they are getting away with it. Until they only stop until they can no longer get away with it. So politicians will continue, Nigerian politicians will continue to do their thing until it's no longer tenable, it's no longer favoring them, so like that. But I really like that point that you made about the start of a movement. I know that a lot of people listening were probably like really hoping that this was the moment, this was the time. But like now they might be feeling a little bit of despair and like, you know, kind of like
well, Nigeria's again.
But no, like if you really deep it, like it's so incredible.
What's incredible. What has never happened.
Never ever.
Never. I said Peter Obi wasn't going to get 1 million votes. I was betting with my friends that he's not going to get 1 million. That's how someone who believes, because my relationship with Obi is different. I've known him. I grew up in Delta State, so I knew when he was governor of Anambra State. I really loved him. So one thing about him is that, and that's something that even works against him now. When he came in, he wasn't really after legacy projects that they will attach his name for. So if a Nigerian politician enters office now, he'll be looking for something to build.
So that you can like have your name.
They will just come and build an airport. In 5 years' time, that airport will be of no relevance, but it will still be there that they built airport. But this man went into like critical development index, education.
You're not putting anybody's name to
education,
it, but people
businesses, and that's why during his tenure, you could see like critical, like you could see the data on this critical development index. They were the best state in education. They were the best state in private businesses. Right? That's just how you should know that a government has invested in businesses and invested in education and ease of businesses. That's how you conquer. That's how you build. Obviously, the roads are good. Infrastructure is very good. I'm not going to say they're not good. He did a lot. But the criticism was that because he's a very cheap guy, so he was always looking for cheap contractors. And the cheap contractors, because the money that he gave them would have been enough for them to do the road, because they want to steal too. They stole a lot of money and did rubbish job. So it's not as if he didn't do a lot of infrastructure. He did infrastructure. He did some work in infrastructure. But Nigeria.
It's also the
again.
decadence now, because
Exactly.
you need to, if they are being paid, like if I can do it for 1,000 naira,
Thank
why
you.
are you
Why am I?
charging me 10,000
Exactly.
naira?
And that was his own point. But the problem was a lot of people were still stealing before the thing gets to even the contractor. The money go down. So that affected him. But in terms of the other critical development index, life expectancy, child mortality, pregnancy women dying in hospitals, healthcare, stuff
those
like
are
that.
The things that you see.
He invested in those things.
And those are the things that matter.
Those are the things that matter. There's Nigeria, and people are not critical enough to understand that. Oh, you go and build one trail that is one locomotive train in 2023, and people are hailing you.
Did you see that video of people
Pushing you? You understand me? So people really don't understand these things, right? So I've known him for a long time. I really like him, right? And I'll tell you why I like him later. The conversation will come up later. But even me, that was his fan, I was very, very pessimistic about his chances because of, the Nigerian structure we're talking about. These guys, this political elite, this political group, they've held this country since 1960. You're not going to use one election cycle to kick them out. It's not possible. So me, I was very skeptical. I was like, 1 million votes. In short, when he first started, I say 500,000. Then when I saw that the buzz was, I say, online Twitter people don't have PVC. 1 million. But the guy did so well that he even believes that he won the election. That's how mad this thing is. And with the way the winners in quotes have behaved since the election,
it just shows
that there's something wrong, right? So it's only the beginning. Because remember where all of us were after October 2020, after the NSAS thing, we are so disappointed, right?
No, I was done with this country.
Exactly. The obedience came again. You're like, oh, okay.
Maybe there's something. Maybe there's something.
A lot of people are still done now. No, they're just getting started.
The fact that there's something to be said for the fact that those two events have happened in the last
4 years.
3 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that there will be similar events. In the next, until we get to that promise.
There will be.
Because no country stays poor and corrupt forever.
Since 2020, if you look at it, the most things the political group have fought against have been social media.
Yes.
They know now.
They know.
Buhari ban am first. You remember the Somali laws going in the House of Assembly? Say social media is evil. Wow, because Nigerian politicians, our elders in the Nigerian, they've never been this held accountable in their lives.
No, there's no checks and balance.
They've never had this much checks and balances. Like,
but now everything's in the open.
Somebody can
do
just
something,
record
go and
something,
verify
post
it. You do this,
somebody can see it in America, in London, anywhere they can see it. Like, they've never had to confront that. And so it makes them jittery and like they're like, they need to cover. That's why the people have been making those jokes is the election videos that people better go and download VPN because the way they will ban.
So that's my major lesson. And I hope the thing about tribalism and any sort of bias in terms of tribalism, even you having bias against women, what does it call again? Discrimination. Any sort of any sort of bias. I think it has to do with the lack of reasoning, lack of logic and education, right? I hope more people in this country, more young people, are more educated and have are free thinkers. When you are a free thinker, nobody can come and tell you, I'm a Yoruba man, you must vote for me because you are a Yoruba. Me being a free thinker means I'm looking beyond tribe. I'm looking beyond religion to say who's the best man for this job.
Who are you? Can you do it?
I hope that education is already happening. I hope it will be continue to spread. That's the only way we can break this system. This corrupt political structure.
On that point about how social media and the kind of accountability it brings, I also worry just on this point that you were saying about sort of how people being educated and sort of taking responsibility for their own choices. That the internet also scares me in that way because somebody can just say something and people will just
talking shit.
Like people would not take a moment to consider the situation. Is this plausible? Does this make sense?
I think
how can I verify this? Right? Because during the elections, so many things were flying around. Lord. So I just hope that somehow we get better at taking responsibility for how we also consume the internet. It unites us, it brings us together and everything. but we also it's like when we are eating in real life, or like when you are drinking, like anything that you do in real life, like do it responsibly.
Yep.
Basically, like if you carry a newspaper now
in moderation,
and that newspaper now then tell you say Buhari in a clone, like will you just believe that Buhari is a clone on the headline? Like you probably read the story, you probably ask one or two people like how far they say Buhari in a clone, not true. You know, like, so this is the same thing. You just apply it to the internet.
Internet don't tire me. Even me, that in the last 2 minutes I've been praising, I've been high praise on the internet. I'm tired of social media. What's happening there is like it's toxic, and there's a lot of joblessness. People don't have jobs, so people are just there, and people don't have jobs, and people don't have real life offline connections. So they don't go offline, they don't live life. So everything is just on social media. They're toxic. Everything they're debating. Sometimes I see things that they debate on Twitter. I'm like, why is this thing consuming you? Don't you have a job? Don't you have a problem in life?
No,
like, why is this thing consuming you? So I think that's also the bad side that you're talking about. And see, it's something that we have to live with. This social media thing that we are doing is a very new thing. We don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
It's so new. Bro, do you understand what it is that we grew up in an era where, so that's one thing about millennials. We grew up in an era where there was no social media, then there was social media. So we were able to like balance
just opposite.
But look at Gen Z, that fucked up. You know why?
Yeah.
There's never, do you know what it, see our minds were not that programmed to have so much information. Like you have like billion thoughts.
We grew up with like,
bro, very structured information.
That's when
NCA, radio.
Saturday morning you watch Breakfast show. You know, like you had your.
Bro. But now there's news in your face every day.
Apart from that, there's even multiple ways, like options.
TikTok.
How do you process this? So I see them struggle with it. I understand. Bro,
it's too
just
much.
Imagine me,
it's overwhelming.
16, 17 and social media.
It's
bro, I'm struggling with it now. I struggle with it now. Let alone as a young. No, I have a huge sympathy. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's very easy to just be like they don't know pass.
Thank you.
But
this is what they know. This is the life they know.
Now,
we are just lucky that we were able to miss it.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? I need to apologize.
Now you're like I don't right. Like
because I don't drag.
That thing is hard though.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Because before, if you wake up and you get a piece of information, you're able to sit down on your own and think, what do I think about this?
Yeah.
Now you don't even have that.
Like
you don't have that time
because immediately the information is coming.
16 pieces of information already.
This information is coming. This agenda is coming. This agenda.
like you have to like this photo, do this,
you
respond to that thing, have an opinion about that somebody said.
Check your
it's not easy.
Bro, do you see how after Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez, did you see that?
Yeah, I remember they settled now. You know,
they were saying
Selena Gomez fans don't like her because they felt that she snatched Justin Bieber away from her, and they always attacked her like all 3 years. And this is the first time Selena Gomez came and said, "Please stop."
Yeah, because you know what? I'm sure between them personally, they've probably dyed that thing,
bro,
a while back.
It's been like how many years?
It's just fans are like the fans are having no meltdown, and they are so toxic. Like
they go after anybody that says otherwise. Like they are so angry. Like, why are you so angry? Selena Gomez is living a good life.
She's
chilling. Are you chilling?
Are you fucking chilling?
You carry Selena Gomez's problem for your own head.
It's crazy.
Do you know how much she has?
It's absolutely crazy.
Do you know the support system that she can afford?
On,
you can't afford. Like, why? Oh, I look at these people. I'm like, oh my god, it's not easy.
Oh my god,
it's not easy. Even me, I think about it. Like, how do I handle? Like my kids, I'm like, how do I handle social media? Like, what age? I'm still confused about it. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm still thinking about it. Like, when that time comes, how should I?
If you're 7 years old now and says he wants an iPad, like, what do you do?
This thing is new to all of you.
Do you say yes? Do you say no?
If
you say yes, do you put an app on the phone that then stops the thing from? Or like, what do you do? Like, it's crazy.
We're all just
figuring it out. Scary. I won't lie.
Yeah, but bringing it back home, right? Like, to sort of Nigeria's peculiarities. And I think one of the reasons why we lean so much politically along tribal and religious lines is one, the fact that like majority of us are not as educated.
That's it.
And two, our history as well.
Yeah.
We are very,
have a toxic
very
history.
bad with
as a people.
We literally fought the
facing
war.
our history.
Like, there was actually a war.
There's actually a
That's
war.
always like to like. Let's just mention civil war like this.
It's like
It's just
it never happened.
Like everyone just wants to like, but this shit happened. Like it shaped our fucking country.
No,
It
that's
shaped
where
how we are,
now.
who we are today, our political system, everything shaped who we are today. So, you know, I wonder sometimes that like, because it's easy to speak about the problem, but sometimes I wonder like, how can we engage more with our history? Like, that's why I like projects like what Fuad is doing with Archive, where like he's going to put newspapers every day from like,
so
like
you
can go back and see, because sometimes when we are having conversations about the
There's no
economy or this, and we say once upon a time Naira used to be 65 Naira to $1. You know, the Gen Z people will be like, what?
If I
What are
Google
you
it, I
saying?
can't see
Like,
nothing.
There's
you know,
nothing.
so
we've not archived our media.
we've also been so bad with documenting our history. I was driving through Yaba the other day, and I saw like maybe like 4 or 5 houses that like they were like all those old colonial style houses, and they were being converted into like normal, small, tiny windows from regular Lagos architecture. And I just felt bad because I was just like, this is a piece of history.
There must be a story behind those buildings.
I saw a picture of a street in Oxford from 17 something, and today, bro, other than the cars and like street lights,
everything
almost
is
exactly the houses. I mean, it's obviously maybe back then it was houses, now it's shops or something like, but it still looked, you know, you stay in touch with your history, but we have such a poor
they don't
culture
even be teaching
that
history in schools
anymore.
How many people do you hear go to the National Museum?
I went there once.
Was it in the National Museum?
I went there once. I remember seeing who was that head of state that they shot.
Motorama.
Like his car was in there. Yeah.
That's
and
what
we're looking at
everybody
the
says.
whole. Yeah.
Everybody that has ever gone to the National Museum, they just talk about the car, and that's
the most
thing they
memorable
remember.
thing that you
So
remember.
a journalist, when he was shot, when he was kidnapped, during the coup, right? They didn't see his body for like 2 days. So everybody was like, where is Motorama? There's a journalist that got fame for just discovering the body and writing about it. That's Osoba. He later became a governor of
Ogun State.
Thank you. He was a journalist now.
Wow.
He was the one that discovered the body and wrote the story. That the guy is dead. They found his body here, baby. Yeah.
Man,
Osoba.
that's crazy. You see,
history.
Things like this, because
History.
that's why when today's politicians, right? So let me give you an example. When Buhari became president, and it's like he started to make some moves. So like when he closed the border, I started to see things. Some people went to go and dig it up and brought out like newspaper clippings from when he was military
in 1986.
In 1960, and like the exact same
Naira design,
things,
banner of rights, political, closing border, everything.
The same thing. And I was thinking, and it just made me think that like, yo, if we were conversant with our history, we would know that this, like, we will see it coming.
Yeah.
If we had to protest, or maybe if we did probably not even vote him in, they will not be able to sell. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's one of the reasons why I don't like old people like my dad. When I have conversations with him, I'm like, you were there in those years when Buhari did this, and you had the guts to see allow them sell it to us.
Yeah.
Right? It's like what we're saying.
It's change. You will bring change.
You bring change.
I'm like,
it's like what we're saying about
you didn't tell us
as millennials. Our experience with the internet versus Gen Z. It's like, despite our knowledge of no internet and not telling Gen Zs about the dangers of it, or like why they should be careful.
Why
like,
you understand?
That would not make
sense.
sense.
Why didn't you tell us? Because now we're seeing the same thing he did that year. So what's different?
It's true.
So
so the thing, I think Nigeria's, in my own opinion, one of our biggest problem, and why I don't think, even while I've expressed optimism about the whole thing, the reason I'm still very pessimistic about Nigeria is because of our complexity. There's so many tribes, there's so many agendas, there's so many, like, we are simply not one people, right? Yep. It's not an indictment of any region.
That's facts.
We're not connected. We don't know each, like,
we only have one connector, and that's the borders of our country.
That's Nigeria, which Nigeria was a business. The only reason Nigeria is a business is just because the Royal Niger company came and said that they have to remain one so that we can still have that ties and be taking out money. Nigeria was just in Nigeria because of business interests, right? We're not one people. If ideally, the way countries are supposed to be is Cotonou and in the Yorubas, there should be a way they will connect them. The East and the Northerns, like they will be with Niger State and stuff. Like Senegal.
Niger,
in fact, if you go to part of Niger, right, you see that you think you are in northern Nigeria. Even as far, if you go as far as Senegal, there's so much similarity that they have with, right? So the borderlines around Africa are not really. That's why you see everything that happens in Africa. Almost all the countries, there's this tribal war. There's this from Rwanda to connection. So there's that constant battle for identity, right? Like to have because we can't have one agreement as a people because we're not one. We don't have one agenda. Nigeria is even worse because there's Christian and Muslim
on top of
tribe. Thank you. It's
whatever
hard,
tribes that
right?
we have.
Yeah. So that's why I keep saying the only thing that can help us is education and the social media that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
If a lot of people who have the same education and can be rational enough to say, "Oh, let's leave this tribal and religious line and just align." Yeah. If that happens, which is something that happened with this obedient movement. I keep saying because I don't think any Nigerian political party has been able to do this, to bring together people who had nothing to gain. Nothing. You and I have nothing to gain personally from Peter Obi being president. Right? But we just looked at it and said, this is the person that we really want. What will happen? What can increase our chances is the level of education of young people. So we hope that as more young people are coming into the system, to the voting system, they're getting more educated, not to be very, very tribalistic as our parents, right? And this tribalism I'm talking about is not just one region; it's all of us.
Yes,
it's everybody. Igbos were tribalistic towards the north, and Yorubas, everybody. You understand me? So if we can have a generation of kids like that, we can see it reflect in our voting patterns. And that is the only way we can be able to change what is happening.
Because it's even an illusion if you think about it. When people say I have something personally to gain, it's not like if. Like now, Eco Bridge is not working. It's not like because you're some opposition party, you can't pass Eco Bridge.
You don't understand.
Like all of us cannot pass Eco Bridge.
You know why Jemima is saying this? She's logical. She has.
All of us cannot pass Eco Bridge.
She's a critical thinker. She can think. A lot of people don't think like that, right?
Like you're not immune.
Exactly, you are not immune. So, like when I saw some people on WhatsApp when Tinubu won, they were celebrating and they were like gloating. I saw one 2 days later. I was complaining about fuel or something. I just started laughing.
Did you tell me about the woman that was he selling pombo or something?
Yes, I went to the market and she was like, "Oh, APC." No, I'm like
I'm not sure if Peter Obi had won, you would have been on the internet gloating. What's it concern?
Like,
your own is, I hope you do a good job.
Well, and if you does not do well,
you drive your car and go to your office and get to your start face your business and start working.
Straight
up.
up.
You see people gloating. Makes you go into the office much more
easier, and so the thing is, more education will open our minds more. When our minds are open, we will not be thinking along tribal lines.
Have just one linear,
then you won't be linear and say, "Oh, we must vote for a Yoruba man because I'm from Yoruba. I must vote for an Igbo man because."
It was very disgusting how much like the ethnicity. I mean, like, it always comes out every election.
It comes out every election.
But I think because this time, like you said, the third party, because it's always between two parties, right? And one party will be looking for one alliance with another tribe and all of that. But like this one, it was like three parties, so it seemed like the three major groups in Nigeria. Yeah, and it's not even just three that we have 200 and
we have a lot.
It just sort of brought everything to the fore, and everybody started having opinions about it's because of this, and even subtle things that the opposition party were just doing on their own. People now started finding meaning.
Exactly. Like Peter Obi going to churches. Peter Obi going to churches now became something huge. He's a politician who was going somewhere to canvass for votes. It happens,
So I also want to sorry, Steve. I also want to just buttress that point about being educated. Like it's not just about formal education.
No, it's not about degree.
Like it's not about degree. Because when I say
it's not about degree, because we're seeing people on
everybody just needs to go
on Twitter, just be
like it's not about school. Like it's social education.
It's not as well. It's social education mainly.
Yeah.
You have to be socially conscious to understand that I can't be biased. I can't have something against someone because he's not from my tribe.
Yeah.
It's social. It's mainly social. It's social education.
Because that's what will make somebody see another person. And say,
It's social education that will make you sit down and when women come on Twitter and say we don't like this thing, you as a man will not be happy and say, you must like it. So everything is social. I call it social consciousness. That's what I call it. So you have to be socially conscious to understand the climate of people. You know, that's why I said I love being fair. Like, how are you fair to one another? Right? That's it. It's not degree or masters or PhD. No.
Is that kind of
because someone can be a medical doctor and the only thing he knows is how to operate.
We know they see signs for Twitter.
We see them PhD.
Who is the last son that said this pussy or your beat or like that?
Was it? I think it was Femi Fani-Kayode.
At
like 1 a.m. Today at 1 somebody said
this is
crazy
mad
thing to tweet at 1 a.m.
Like bro, like you had
like yo. And did you this just quick one, this religion thing is so hilarious because constitutionally Nigeria is a secular state.
You don't understand. Constitutionally,
so crazy. Like by law.
But you see it because of
all these things that
several agendas. You see politics entering
before they do a government activity. They will pray.
She annoys me.
In Christian and
Muslim.
We are a secular state.
We
are not a religious state.
It should change.
Like,
again, this is part of the education that people need to
to understand.
You know,
it's true.
Oh, Nigeria! If you talk about Nigeria, you
know
like you keep talking about Nigeria.
If this podcast, if we do episode, we will do series.
And lastly, that's what defined the gubernatorial election in Lagos. So when they became very desperate, they now went the tribal line. And like I said, if you bought into the tribal narrative, it's two things. You are non-educated. That means you are not like rational. Or two, you really had hate in your mind and you saw an opportunity
you're looking for something
to express it.
Yeah.
You know, so I was talking to one man, he's a pastor on my street, and he was like, hey, now the Yorubas are talking. And I said, hey, yeah, good for you guys. I'm like, who's the Igbo guy that said they want to take over Lagos? He said they were saying it on social media and say on social media. You don't even know. A faceless person just says something and you took it. There's nobody that wants to take over your Lagos. It's just people, a group of people
who have the same interest.
Desperate, wanted to like stoke the racial, the tribal tension. And when they did it, it happened. And if you look at it, where did the Agberus attack? They attacked the places where you and I could go to vote.
Yeah.
They didn't go to Mushi. They didn't go to because they knew that those ones, they don't get them. They don't get those ones now.
Yeah.
Those ones, they don't get them now.
Yeah.
Because, and it's not as if I'm being, how do I put it? I'm being condescending. Those people were not rational. Those demographics, they wasn't rational enough to say that.
We saw the APC women from Ikorodu.
Thank you.
Protesting that they don't pay them money for voting. So it's fact.
So they were not discerning to understand that these politicians want to use us to divide. It's divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Right? But you and I, Yemi was saying it on Twitter, and the popular footballer, that they attacked her. She's Yoruba.
Yeah.
My neighbor is Yoruba. They attacked her in Sierra.
Yeah.
They attacked her because she went. They don't look at her like, this one not go vote.
This one is educated.
Thank you.
This one looks so and proper.
Even white tribalism was the font. The real war was a class war.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah.
It was a class war.
Yeah.
Just look at the voting patterns. Bro, Tinubu lost in Ikoyi. His neighbors didn't vote for him.
That impossible. Like, how do you lose in your house?
Bro, his neighbors didn't vote for him. So understand. Look at the.
So it's nothing about.
It's not a tribal. It's just a class thing. Exactly. The people who were really, really. Maybe I might be biased, but people were really smart enough and saw behind it. Look, this is not the man for us.
Essentially, the middle class holds all the answers.
Oh my God, thank you.
To Nigeria's
and I said the key now to us reclaiming, to us being the expansion of the middle class. Yes. And that is what Nigerian system has been against.
Yes. Because if you expand
because the more people live in poverty,
the more people are financially free, the more they don't need you to influence them with votes. Stuff like that.
They have sense.
Yeah. So if you look at it, the middle class has always been shrinking in the Nigerian system.
And we've always said it like how the poverty that is in Nigeria, the hospitals that are not working, the bad systems, they are by design.
Know now because you've seen it.
They are by design.
Bro. The hospital own bust my head. There's places you go in this country, you go to the hospital, like it is a big town. You go to the hospital, nothing in the hospital.
Nothing.
Like they barely have beds.
Something as basic as a blood bank, they don't get. With the suffer.
As in, I always tell people say, no matter how bad you think Nigeria is, whatever concept of Nigeria you have,
You've not seen.
is 10 times worse.
You've not seen it.
I can guarantee you for free. No matter if you think say, this Nigeria
You
na
never
hellfire, it is actually
Now perception you
10
they talk
times of
am. You
hellfire.
never see. If you see.
Babe, like what if you travel this country?
Yeah.
So be myself the neighboring state. I always say Abakaliki the capital.
Capital.
You come out
Abakaliki
one
is
day.
trenches.
You come out
I'm
on
sorry
the
to say.
Friday, 7 o'clock, everywhere don't close. We trek that day.
it can't
We
be
trek
your
go out
precious
back because
Lagos.
no keke, no bike,
Nothing.
no activity, no anything. People are just living like
They
zombies.
just live.
They're just
People are
make it
just
to the next
existing.
day. Just existing.
Existing.
Like they'll be telling like
That's
some of
wow.
the hostels that like coppers were staying, like their neighbors that are like indigenous and stuff, will be telling them like these are maybe the rain if it falls. And Abakaliki has like a lot of red earth, like red sand. And so it's very when it's dusty, it's very
dusty.
so maybe people that are coming from different parts of the country to come and serve. So they are complaining to their neighbors that they are gisting me. They're like, this road as it rain is very bad. And they're like, since that 15 years now, they never do. Like
15 years.
they've just moved. They've just given. They're just more existing.
They just moved on.
Like, so like if you travel this country and you see the way people are living,
I agree.
Lagos is a bubble.
I agree.
And even within Lagos, bubble day.
And that's my problem. People on social media don't know this.
They don't know.
No.
So we need to expand. Yeah, that's it. That's really it.
That's it. So if you don't take anything out of this episode today,
Expand middle class.
We need to expand the middle class,
social
basically, because they are the most rational, most financially free, most socially conscious.
Because they have access to education, to books, to
media. And despite all of that, they still have the most to lose because Nigeria can be a barrier from them moving into the upper class.
Because a single policy can make them
drop them back down.
Yes.
So they have the most to lose as well.
They will take politics more serious.
They will take politics more serious.
Brilliant.
Wonderful.
Right.
Wonderful. Look at that. You people, this is where we are giving you game. If you don't subscribe, if you don't send it to your friends, your daddy, your mom, send it to everybody, we go fight. I'm any problem. I'm any problem. Okay, guys, let's fix up.
No, this was great conversation. I was just here. Listen, I just put my 2 cents.
No, Steve has to come back.
He has to come back. He has to come back.
We'll do a poll. We'll do a poll. Let us know if you want Steve to come back on the episode, on the podcast. Okay, we need to have Steve back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was great. That was really.
I think you already rounded it up basically. And
it's Steve that rounded up really. I just added small,
put a little bit.
That's a little something, But yeah,
I'm looking forward personally, just to round this up. I'm looking forward to like how this fight and like what the outcome of the election. I mean, we already know what the outcome of the election is, but like I said in the previous episode, like until they swear somebody in, anything can still happen. So I'm looking forward to seeing even though I know that like the chances of it tilting to what everybody would want is very low, but I'm still looking forward to what's going to happen, and hopefully everybody will have sense.
I just hope we come out of this stronger. Actually, let me just say that like there are fundamentally two different kinds of people in Nigeria. Those that still believe in the Nigeria project and those that don't. Right?
Which one do you stay with?
I'm on those that don't. And the reason
There's
why...
no in between.
No. The reason why I don't is that like Steve said, right? That like it's almost like a culture, a generational change has to happen. And so I don't feel like that Nigeria that we all dream of will happen in my lifetime. Maybe if it will happen in my lifetime, maybe towards the end of my lifetime. So it's why I'm just like, let me optimize for myself now first. Make I secure myself, right? So once I'm immune in a way, a bit immune to Nigeria and its wahala, then I can now be believing again in the project. Sure, you get. But there are people that believe in the project.
Yeah.
And
Do
I
you
think
believe in the project, Steve?
Steve would love a middle ground now.
I've been very optimistic on this podcast. So let me take the
maybe that's
easiest,
exclusive, you guys.
Let me take the easiest route.
You are going to find an optimistic Steve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me take the easiest route and stay in the middle. Because on one side, because of the complex nature of this country, we can just never agree on something. Like it will be hard.
It will take a lot.
It will take a lot, right? I think I just stay in the and with my optimism that more young people coming up will have more access to information that will make them make better decisions. So I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the middle is actually the closest to reality.
Yes.
Because I think because of the complexity, it's going to take a long time.
A longer time, yeah.
That's why I think I'm really like it's probably towards the end of my life where we get
Exactly.
to that time when there's enough of a middle class to come up and take over the old political elites.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Anyways,
Wonderful.
Thank you guys. This was fun. Thank you guys.
This was great. Thank you, Steve, so much for joining us.
Coming.
We love having you. Thank you, guys.
Wait,
let's do recommendations.
That's what I was about to say.
Come on, I know my work.
We had to say thank you, guys.
I know my work. I like thanking the people profusely. It's my way of begging them or scoping them. Like, please support our mission.
All right.
Sure.
So, do you have a recommendation this time around?
I'm trying to think of something I've seen or watched this week,
Steve,
and nothing
please,
is coming to me.
Do you have a recommendation?
All the series I'm watching now, I recommended it to some people and they said it wasn't good.
It doesn't matter. This is a safe space.
I don't have
recommend
taste.
it anyways.
I just so the Night Agent just came out on Netflix.
Oh, I've seen it.
Towards the end I got like really pissed off. Like so like, and two, Netflix does not know how to make expensive. They just it's really low budget. Night Agents, the plot is good, but it's low budget. The production is low budget. But Night Agent led me to The Recruits on Netflix, and I liked it. Then my friends just
The Recruits.
The Recruits. My friends just recommended The Hunters for me. And I just started it.
Is that the one with
Anazi? Yes.
Yeah.
It's a fucking great series, bro. I just started it, and I just started it, and I just texted us. I'm like, why did you guys just recommend this thing to me? When did you watch it? He said last year. I said you did crazy. It's really good.
That first scene where the guy just murders everybody. I was like, what the fuck is this show?
You know my favorite part when the guy did. I've spent years building this.
Building all of this, and I just have to destroy it all.
Killed everybody, bro. That was
when I
said, you know what?
Let me
this is it's good. Yeah, that's
right. There you go.
There you go. Go check that out. I feel like I've recommended Warrior already on an episode.
Warriors.
I like Warrior.
I might have recommended Warrior, but if I have not, go check out Warrior.
Aren't you still seeing it?
And now, so I cannot recommend something I'm still watching.
Gang that came to America.
Yes.
Yes.
Apparently, fun fact about that, it was inspired by a script that Bruce Lee originally wrote.
For real?
Yeah, back in the day, but he could not get it made because obviously nobody's going to put a fucking Chinese lead in front back then in them days. So he could not get it made. So some people found out about it and approached his daughter. And then develop their material from that.
So you know, once upon a time,
there are a lot of odes to it.
Quentin Tarantino's last movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, something. He depicted Bruce Lee very badly, and the daughter was angry.
She did not like that.
She didn't like it
because apparently he never talked like that.
He never. That's what the daughter said.
He never talked. He never does all that.
Quentin said,
"Na dub."
Yeah.
Like because that time, like they would dub like American sounding voices over the actual actor, over the actual Chinese actor. That's
Chinese.
That's not cool, okay? So, although that guy's name is Chinko Tiger, so I don't know what is real or not anymore. Chinko Ekun, is that his name? So I don't know. And it's because it looks Chinese. I don't know why, whatever. Let's not get carried away. But yeah, go check out Warrior on, I don't know where it is. Look for it.
It's on Prime.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been real. As always, let us know what you think about the pulse of the nation post-elections. If you're outside, if you're a diasporan, okay? Let us know what you feel. What do you think about the Nigeria project? What is it going to look like? Do we really need to expand the middle class? I think we do. We all think all three of us here think we need to. But let us know what you think. Whether it's somewhere else we need to focus our prayers. Let us know. You can send us an email, theshrinepodcast@gmail.com.
The Shrine.
Or send us a DM on Twitter @theshrinepod, on Instagram @theshrine.pod. Also, I beg Mona follow me. I just opened this account. I beg Mona help my life. I beg Akindari Live. That's the handle. Okay, thank you so much. I love you all.
Bye bye.
Peace out. Till next time.